Hi everyone, happy holidays. I'm Kristen with Legit Trips, and this year we wanted to give you all the gift of a really cool goal planning session for 2020. And if you like the work that we get into and would like to do more of it, we're hosting a retreat in Joshua Tree this year where you can work on personal or professional goals with me. And I'd love to have you. So you can find more about that retreat to Joshua Tree on legittrips.com. And otherwise, just grab yourself a couple of pieces of paper. You'll need at least 2 sheets, maybe 8.5 by 11 would be best, but you could probably work with something smaller if you needed to. And maybe just a few different pens or markers, maybe just a couple of different colors that you could work with. And if you need more time to go and get those, you can push pause now and come back when you're ready. Once you have your papers, you're going to divide them into, just take one of the papers and divide them into 4 quadrants, and then you'll label each quadrant. And the first one is personal growth. The second one is career and finances. The third one is things to have and do. And the last one is contribution. I'm going to go ahead and start a screen share that will help you guys follow along. So let's see. All right, so hopefully you've divided your paper into 4 quadrants and we can move along. First question is, what do you want for your life? And the best way that I know to coach people on how to get ready to answer this question is to imagine that you're a kid on Christmas Eve, and it is, anything is possible. You have that enthusiasm and that excitement, and it's truly limitless, right? What could possibly happen? So what do you want for your life? And it can be anything you'd like to experience, achieve, have, give, or do in the next 10 years. So we're coming to the end of 2019, the end of this decade. We're going to look forward into the next decade. Think about everything you've been able to accomplish in this decade and just how much possibility there is for the next decade. So you're going to answer this question for each of the 4 quadrants, and I will coach you through it. This is all time-based so that you can't think about it too much. So once you put pen to paper and you just start writing, you want to just keep writing. So in the first quadrant of your paper is personal development, and just think through, what do you want in the next 10 years in this category of your life? So go ahead and put your pen to paper now. There are no limits to what is possible. And what do you want for personal development in the next 10 years? It can be related to health, physical fitness, your body. What could you do for your own well-being? Could you get a massage every week or join the gym? Maybe you want to hire a personal chef or complete a triathlon. And as we go about with all of this, I will just continue to give you prompts to help you keep writing. And your goal is to just keep writing until we get to the end of the section and then move on. Okay, so what would you want for your mental and emotional well-being in the next decade? Would you like to learn a new language or start playing a new instrument? What are some skills that you might want to master? What are some character traits that you would like to develop? Are there any fears that you want to conquer? And in the last prompt, it's relationships. This is love and connection with other people. It can be romantic, family, friends, etc. Who do you want your friends to be? What do you want your romantic relationship to look like and feel like in the next 10 years? And I'll give you 30 more seconds on this quadrant, and then we're going to move on to career, business, economic goals. All right, just 10 seconds when you're ready. No more writing. Okay, next quadrant, career, business, and economic goals for the next 10 years. When it comes to your finances and your wealth, where would you like to be? When it comes to your career, is there something new that you'd like to learn or an area you'd like to grow in? Is there somewhere that you can step up in the business that you're in? How much money do you want to earn annually in the next 10 years? Do you need to balance your budget? How much do you want to save? For what? What would you like to contribute to the company where you work? What breakthrough might you like to create? Would you like to get a promotion, learn a new skill, attend a training, earn a certificate, or even just read a new book? Again, you're like a kid on Christmas. Anything is possible. There are no limits. So don't worry about the how of any of this happening. Just brainstorm anything you'd like to achieve, create, do, have, or give in the next 10 years as it relates to your career, business, and economics. Give you 10 more seconds on this category. Okay, we're going to move on to the next quadrant, things to have and do. Write down everything you could ever want, have, do, or experience in your life if there were no limits. Would you buy a castle, a cottage, a sailboat? Would you like a private zoo full of unicorns? If the genie were before you and any wish you made would be immediately true, what would you want most in the world? Would you like to attend a Broadway show? Swim with pink dolphins in Peru? What exotic places would you visit? Would you participate in running of the bulls in Spain with your best friend? Or go scuba diving with sharks in Fiji? Or maybe book a ride on the next space shuttle? Again, anything is possible. There are no limits. Think in decades here. We're looking at a whole decade. Things to have and do. Things and stuff is physical, tangible property typically, and experiences are moments and memories and places, travel. I'll give you 10 more seconds in this category. Just keep writing and writing and writing. Don't think about it. Don't censor yourself. Don't edit. Just keep writing. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and pen off the paper. We'll move to the next quadrant and the last one, contribution. So again, just start writing. Don't think about it. In the next 10 years, if the sky was the limit, how could you give back? What would you create? How could you leave your mark? Maybe you'd build a school or become a big brother or a big sister. Maybe you'd volunteer at a local animal shelter or soup kitchen. Maybe you want to volunteer with the Peace Corps or visit a nursing home. How could you help protect the ozone layer or clean up our oceans? Or maybe eliminate discrimination. What could you create? Develop a car that runs on garbage? Design a system for distributing food to all the hungry? Will you create a legacy that makes a difference in someone's life? It could be as simple as setting up a household recycling program or as broad as building a shelter for the homeless. It's just 30 seconds to go. If the sky were the limit, how would you contribute in the next 10 years? Ten more seconds. Get it all out. Just keep writing. Everything you could give back, create, leave a mark, contribute to this world. 5 more seconds. Okay, phew, you've done it. So we're going to go back through each of the categories for just 2 minutes, and I'll give you another prompt. So go back to your first category, personal development, and you need to set a timeline for each of the things that you wrote down. And it's 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years. Goals are just dreams with a deadline, so we're going to put a timeline to each one of these. Maybe push yourself a little bit, but be realistic in the timeline that you set for yourself. Some of your goals probably can be accomplished this year, no problem. Some might take a few. Some are going to take the whole decade. So go through now on personal development and write 1, 3, 5, or 10 next to every single thing on your list. The simple act of deciding when you'll achieve your goal sets in motion both conscious and unconscious forces to help make your dream a reality. So we'll do this for each one. You should be about done with personal development by now. So just go ahead and wrap that up. Don't think about it too much. Just assign the years 1, 3, 5, or 10. And we'll move on to career. So if you're a little behind, you can just catch up here. Move on to your career quadrant and go ahead and assign 1, 3, 5, or 10 year timelines to each item in that career quadrant. Don't overthink it, just whatever seems realistic. Maybe push yourself a little bit. Just 10 or 15 more seconds on this one. Real quick, 1, 3, 5, or 10 next to every item on the list. Give those dreams a deadline. Okay, we're going to move on now to the next quadrant. It should be things to have and do. And same thing, you have 2 minutes. Write out 1, 3, 5, or 10 next to every item on the list. Less than a minute to go on this one. Hopefully it's not too hard. Again, that simple act of deciding when you're going to achieve your goal sets in motion the universe listening and all of the forces that come together to make your dreams a reality, your hard effort included. So just maybe 10 or 15 more seconds on this one. 1, 3, 5, or 10 years. What's it going to take on each of these? And when you're ready, we'll scoot on to the last one, which is contribution. Go ahead over to that last quadrant on your paper, set a timeline for each item, 1, 3, 5, or 10 years to complete each goal. Again, don't overthink it, just be realistic, push yourself a little bit, set those timelines, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Give yourself a deadline. Just 10 more seconds here, wrap it up on the last category, and we're gonna move on. All right, so we're gonna go back up to the top category again. So in personal development quadrant on your paper, circle, star, or highlight the most important 1-year goal. I'm just gonna give you 2 minutes in each quadrant to decide. So what is the one goal that if you were to accomplish this year in 2020 that would give you tremendous excitement and you make you feel like the year was really well invested? So you have to pick one. If you're like me, you might combine 2 together to sort of cheat and make 2 goals into one. That's all right, because this is about making 2020 your best year yet. So if there's 2 things you just can't decide between, maybe you can bundle them together. All right, so move along to career and finances now. Circle star, highlight the most important one-year goal in this category. What is the one that if you accomplish this year would bring you the most excitement and make you feel like the year was the most well invested it could have been? So try to do this as quickly as you can. Just choose one. And again, if you're stuck between two and they don't quite bundle together, maybe think about which one you would regret the most if it didn't happen. Last few seconds on career. And we're going to move on to the third category, things to have and do. Circle star, highlight the most important one-year goal in your things to have and do. Is it a trip or a car? Whatever you feel that would bring you the most excitement and make you feel like your year was the best year yet. You're almost there. Go ahead and finish up things to have and do and scoot over to your contribution quadrant and circle star or highlight the most important one-year goal in your contribution quadrant. What's the one that would give you the most excitement or make you feel that the year was the most well invested? Okay, so for this last section, I am going to ask you to use a separate sheet of paper or to flip over the one that you're writing on. And in each quadrant for each category, you'll have 3 minutes to write a paragraph about why you're committed to achieving this goal this year. And I'll read through the prompts each time, but we're going to stick to 3 minutes. And I encourage you to use the whole 3 minutes. Like, just keep writing no matter what. So I'm actually going to time it so it's right on track. So in the personal development quadrant, you've chosen one goal. Why are you committed to achieving this one goal above all the others this year? Why is it this one in 2020? Why is it compelling to you? Just keep writing. You're writing like a whole paragraph, all the reasons why this goal is important. What will you gain by achieving this goal? How will it make you feel to achieve this goal? What would you miss out on if you didn't achieve it? And if you fail to complete this goal, what will happen? Make sure you answer all of those 5 questions. And when you get to the end of it, if the reasons don't seem strong enough to get you to actually follow through on the goal, you might need a new goal or you might need new reasons. So again, why? Why this goal this year? Why is it compelling to you right now? What will you gain by achieving it? How will it make you feel to achieve this goal? What are the actual feelings that you will have? Happiness, excitement, accomplishment, pride. What would you miss out on if you didn't achieve this goal? And if you fail to complete it, what will happen? Again, if these reasons are not strong enough to get you to follow through, try to get new reasons, or you can go and choose the next goal on your list. Just 30 seconds left on this first category. Just keep stacking up as many reasons as you can for achieving the goal. Make sure you're picking reasons that really drive you, make you feel passionate and excited about the process of having to go and achieve this goal. And if you can think of any obstacles that might stand in your way, visualize all of these reasons being bigger than the obstacles. We're tying together the promise of reward in the future with obstacles you must overcome in the present to get there. It helps your subconscious understand, do X and receive Y. Your conscious brain already knows that, but the subconscious needs to be explicitly told. So just make sure you answer all of the questions on every category. So time is up. When you guys are ready, move on to the career and finances category and answer these same 5 questions. Why did you pick this one goal in this category this year? Why are you committed to achieving this one goal? Why is it compelling to you? What will you gain by achieving it? How will it make you feel to achieve this goal? And then what would you miss out on if you didn't achieve it? Or if you failed to complete the goal, what would happen? Again, just stack up as many reasons as you can for achieving this one goal. Make sure you pick reasons that really drive you, that make you passionate and excited about the process. And are these reasons strong enough to get you to actually follow through? If not, you need to get a new goal or get new reasons. So just keep writing why this is compelling to you, what you will gain by achieving it, and how it will make you feel to achieve this goal. Keep stacking up as many reasons as you can. And then just like the last one, jot down any obstacles that you might be able to predict standing in your way of getting to this goal. Your reasons need to be stronger than the obstacles. So if you're done and you have an extra minute here, you can actually visualize the reasons being bigger than the obstacles. Like make a cartoon in your brain where you can see, I want to lose 10 pounds. And then there's like ice cream and cookies over here as your obstacle. That's 100% me. And make more and more reasons on this side that the ice cream and cookies just like don't even seem appealing because you have so many good reasons for needing to lose the weight. So visualize the reasons being bigger than the obstacles. Tie together the promise of reward in the future with the obstacles that you have to overcome in the present so that your subconscious really understands. Do X, receive Y. Okay, time is up. So we will move on to the third category, things to have and do. Again, just try to write for the entire 3 minutes if you can. Why are you committed to achieving this one goal that you selected for 2020 in this category? Why is it compelling to you? What will you gain by achieving it? How will it make you feel to achieve this goal? What would you miss out on if you didn't achieve it? And if you fail to complete the goal, what will happen? And feel free to be extra loud and a little bit exaggeratory about these, what could possibly happen if you failed to complete the goal. I have had people participating in this say like, I will die, or my mom will not love me. And those are okay. This is an okay time to be a little bit exaggeratory about what happens if you fail to complete the goal, because you need as much leverage on yourself as possible to make these things happen. So again, are the reasons strong enough to get you to follow through? If not, grab a new goal or stack up some more reasons. You guys have a minute and a half. Just keep stacking up as many reasons as you can for achieving this goal. Big reasons, trivial reasons, it doesn't matter. Put them all down. Make sure you pick reasons that really drive you, make you excited and passionate about tackling this goal. And if you can foresee any obstacles that might keep you from achieving the goal, just make sure that your reasons are compelling enough to overcome the obstacle. Again, visualize the reasons being bigger than the obstacles, tying together the promise of reward in the future with obstacles you must overcome in the present. Just a few more seconds here. Make sure you have a great reason why this is compelling to you. Make sure you know what you'll gain by achieving this and how it will make you feel. Make sure you know what you're missing out on if you don't achieve this. Get them all down. 10 more seconds. And then we will scoot over to the last one. As soon as you're ready, your contribution category, you should have one goal. And this is your last 3 minutes. This is your last reasons why. So why did you pick this one goal in your contribution category? Why are you committed to this one for 2020? Why is it compelling to you? What will you gain by achieving it? How will it make you feel to achieve this goal? What would you miss out on if you didn't achieve this goal? Or if you fail to complete it, what will happen? Again, you can exaggerate a little on the negative side. And as you start stacking up these reasons, just do a check. Are the reasons strong enough to get you to follow through? If not, get a new goal or get some new reasons. Start again. You have 2 minutes. Just keep stacking up as many reasons as you can for achieving this goal. Make sure that the reasons will really drive you, things that make you passionate and excited about the process. And on that path, if you can foresee any obstacles that might keep you from achieving the goal, make a note of those so you can be prepared for it. And then make sure the reasons that you have are compelling enough to smash through any of those obstacles. And we've got about a minute left. So if you do have a little bit of extra time, close your eyes, visualize the reasons being bigger than the obstacles. You can draw a cartoon, or maybe it's people that you know in your mind. Really get clear on that picture that all these reasons are so much bigger than this tiny little obstacle over here. Okay, we are almost done with the reasons why. Just 30 seconds. Why is it compelling? What will you gain by achieving it? Just keep writing right up until the buzzer. How would it make you feel to achieve this goal? You could just write a bunch of feelings, happy, joy, whatever it is. And that is your last one, and that's the last quadrant. So, drum roll, the first paper was a draft. So next you're going to create a visual representation of your top 4 goals that you've just done all this work on for 2020. My slide says 2019. I was on autopilot. I'm sorry. Write or draw your goals with confidence. Represent them in a way that conveys certainty back to you, because this is something that you want to look at on a regular basis. Use I will, I have, or I am statements. And then whenever you can, add strong positive words like happily, easily, joyfully. So if you're using the I'm going to lose 10 pounds example, you would say, I will lose 10 pounds in 2020 joyfully or happily or easily, or I will easily lose 10 pounds in 2020. I am stronger and more fit in 2020. You can add any strong positive words that feel great to you. I like happily, easily, joyfully. It just makes me feel like the path of getting to the goal isn't going to be so bad. So you can recreate the 4 quadrants. A lot of people do that and just sort of clean it up and highlight just the top 4 goals, or you can do it any other way that speaks to you. So some people just draw something that illustrates all of the 4 goals. Whatever you're doing, just do it with confidence. Like, man, these goals are already done. I know how to do this. I have all the reasons why. I know why I can't fail. And I'm just going to get it all down in total certainty. I will, I have, I am statements like it is already done. And add as many strong and positive words to everything on the paper as possible. You're probably going to look at this sheet every week, maybe every day for the next year. So write them in a way that conveys the certainty that you feel right now back to you every day. Get to that spot, that state, even faster each time. And when you use the I will, I have, I am statements, it sort of just presupposes that you'll reach the goal. So instead of I want to lose 10 pounds, it's like I am 10 pounds lighter. Do anything you can to presuppose that you will reach your goal, that failure is not an option. And again, they should all just be written with as much of a positive spin, and also be challenging. Maybe just gut check a little bit here to make sure that the goals you've selected are challenging enough to call up motivation within you. The example they always give is that the goal of becoming a millionaire accesses more motivation than the goal of staying debt-free. Like, your brain will provide as much motivation as it thinks is necessary, but no more, because the brain is frugal and your subconscious is super hyper efficient. So it's going to allocate as much energy as needed to accomplish your goals, but no more. So your goals should be challenging, but doable. You can refine them a little bit here if you need to. Make them more specific, give them specific deadlines, or break your deadline down into quarters. If your goal is to lose 10 pounds this year and you want to get a jump start, you may say, I'm just going to lose 1 pound a month for the next 10 months, and then that gives you 2 months of buffer. Break your goals down however feels appropriate to you, but make sure you're giving them some specific deadlines. It doesn't have to be December 31st, 2020 is the goal on all of your 1-year goals. These are just things you're going to tackle this year, but they don't all have to wait until next December. And if you can, just make any notes about how you might measure yourself. So if you were, with the weight loss goal, again, just because it's so simple, if it's a pound a month every month that you want to lose, that's one way to measure it. Perhaps you could also measure it by workouts or steps. A lot of people wear the smartwatches now where you could say, every day for January, I'm going to walk 10,000 steps. That's like my first goal to reach this bigger goal. I just need to get moving. Maybe you want to get a gym membership or work out 3 days a week for all of January. Just give yourself a very specific thing that you can measure yourself on. If the goal is to lose weight, but the first step is to get a gym membership, that's really measurable. Did you get it or did you not get it? So you could give yourself a different deadline, gym membership by January 15th. Anything like that. And lots of people make goals that are a little bit less easy to measure than losing 10 pounds. So if your goal were to have a happier marriage, for example, you need to be able to quantify your happiness. So maybe you want to move from a 5 out of 10 in your marriage to an 8 out of 10, where you'd like to be by the end of the year. And self-assessment is really the only way that you're going to be able to measure that. And that's okay, as long as you can be honest about where you are now, where you are along the way, and where you ultimately want to be. Hopefully you are able to wrap up that new visualization that represents all of your 2020 goals in the next moment or so. I just wanted to share a couple of my favorite quotes that relate to all of this. And one says, how we spend our days is how we spend our life. So, you know, if you want to have a happy life, you need to be happy every day. It is not a destination that you can get to in 10 years after you get the job you want, after you get the spouse you want, after you get that promotion you need, after you have a baby, or after you adopt a dog. Like, you have to practice that every single day, because those days are what add up to the way that your life is lived. And similarly, the next quote is, how we do anything is how we do everything. This one really racked my brain, and it took me a minute to really figure it out, because I would show up some ways, some days at work, and I would show up other ways when I was at home. And it was like, wait a minute, like, who am I? How do I want to show up? And if I'm like half-assing a bunch of stuff at work, where else am I showing up that way? And maybe that's not the right work for me. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're just like sucking at some parts of your life, that's showing up everywhere else too. Whether it's a change in your value system or your work ethic or just your daily mood, that it is all rolls over. So make sure that the way that you show up for everything is how you want to do it all. If you spent your days working toward these goals, would you be happy with how your year was spent? How will you attack these goals? With passion and hunger and certainty that you must achieve them? Okay, so take some action then. What is one action that you can take in the next 15 minutes to set one or more of your goals in motion? You should never leave the site of setting a goal without taking the first action. So if you set the goal in your contribution quadrant that you wanted to become a big brother or a big sister, something you can do right now is contact your local big brother, big sister organization, reach out to them, let them know that you want to become a big. The wheels are in motion, right? Like, what little step can you take to set the goal in motion? If you want to lose weight or get stronger or gain fitness, you can call a gym right now and sign up over the phone. You can set an appointment in your calendar to go into the gym tomorrow to get the membership. Whatever it takes, put something into action, put something out into the universe right now, so that all of the energy that is going to work together to make your goals happen this year gets set in motion right now at this site of the goal setting. Take the first action. All of these little actions are going to add up to you achieving your goals and having a year of intention, a year of your choosing, instead of a year of reacting to whatever life throws at you. If you don't have a plan, you live in reaction. So I hope that this plan helps you make 2020 your best year yet. Again, if you love stuff like this and want more of it, we are hosting a Legit Trips Joshua Tree retreat in April 2020, and we would love to have you. It's going to be 3 whole days of personal and professional development and really digging in to all of this goal setting, both for your personal life and anything that you want to do with your career. So we'd love to have you. Again, you can find more about that trip on legittrips.com. And otherwise, we just wish you a really happy, healthy holiday season. And we hope that your 2020 really is your best year yet. If there's anything that we at Legit Trips can do to bring your goals to life, that is our favorite thing in the world to do. So if you have other travel dreams that we can help with, please do reach out, fun@legittrips.com, or just visit our website, use the contact page, and we would love to make 2020 your best year yet with you. Happy holidays.